I had always wanted to pursue law previously because my dad actually qualified as a barrister. He was one of the only two people of colour in 1966 to be entered into Lincoln Inn Bar. So for me, again, I held him in such high esteem for that reason. And I then believed I wanted to become a lawyer. So I took law as one of my A-levels. I took it as part of my degree. I absolutely hated it. It just wasn't for me. I found it dull, and unless you were actually solving a criminal case, there was nothing that appealed to me. And I realised that, but I still, when you just think I want to fulfil a dream, because he then did not fulfil his. After 2 years of practice, he then brought his other brothers over, and they set up a sports business, which was great for a few years, but never really made any proper money. And they weren't really... I think they just weren't forward thinking, and it was just bringing 4 professional men together, or 5 professional men at the time together, who had no clue about retail, but I liked the fact that they were entrepreneurial and just went for it. And it did well for a while. And then I always used to say to my dad, and even my mum also, just said, look, you've done all that study, you're so smart, can you please look at doing something else when you're a bit older, or at some point. And I know he always felt that he should have done something, maybe not a full-on barrister, but I definitely feel that lack in him, because I recognise the looks on his face and even the conversations we have, and I recognise that in myself. At university, when we went to meet other universities and other friends at universities, I then started meeting people who knew about investment banking and all these other huge illustrious careers that I'd never even heard of, let alone considered. And I think that motivated me to then think, right, this is a possibility. And I started doing summer internship jobs at investment banks, and I thought, right, this is me. It was all men, no drama. They almost reminded me of my father in one way, but at the same time, it was just, I found it easy, even though it was, misogyny, gender inequity, all sorts of inappropriateness, but it was also fun on the other hand. There was a lot of good banter, and I used to thrive on banter. I had a desire to be respected, and I had a desire to achieve something greater than my dad had ever done. And I felt that what he did was a lost opportunity, and I did not want to make that same, in my mindset, that was an error. When you don't grow up with loads of money and then you suddenly meet people with money, you think, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay. This is fucking brilliant. I'd never known what ski resorts were, yet all of the desk, used to go on ski holidays. So on one side, I felt completely out of my depth and and out of this lifestyle and really not worthy. But then on the other hand, that drove me, and I was like, right, I'm going to learn to ski. That's it. I have to do it now if I'm going to go on these ski trips. And so I did that, not very well, but I still did that. And I thought, this is the life I want to lead. The best restaurants, the best bars, the best entertainment. And then sometimes it gets very dark, and I embraced that darkness because I felt it fed whatever was lingering in my soul. It fed it. I didn't see that anything was wrong. I felt honoured to be part of a team like that. I felt that I had made it by even being able to be on a trading floor, on a trading desk. I just thought, me, mediocre university, very bad, mediocre A-level results because my dad's business went bust that year and I had 3 different jobs. But it was just not what he had hoped for me and not what I had hoped for me. And, I was predicted 3 A's and I came out with BCD. And it was just, what do I do now? No one's going to accept me. If I'm trying to think of the inequities that I witnessed, it didn't seem that it was unfair at the time. I was so concentrated on, right, I have to make money and I'm here and I've got this opportunity and that's it. And I've made it and this is it. It didn't even occur to me to, I used to laugh about things. So I was part of the problem because I never knew any better. I didn't have any role models. I didn't have anyone to tell me anything differently. And my dad died 1 year into my career. So again, he probably would have been the voice of wisdom. And instead I was surrounded by these, very privileged, very academically smart people who'd had a lot of exposure of the world that I hadn't. So to me, I almost felt honoured, and that sounds inappropriate as I say it, but no, at the time I didn't feel that there was anything. I thought I was a great person for achieving what I had achieved at that time.